One of the great things about dogs is how eager they are to help humans. Many dog owners could attest to the fact that their furry friends love to feel like they're contributing, even if it just means cheering up their owners on a bad day. Yet many dogs are specifically trained to assist people for important jobs, such as serving as seeing eye dogs or detecting explosives. Perhaps one of the most famous jobs in history held by dogs, though, remains their work with firefighters. For one pup in Northern California, it wasn't how she helped her firefighting friends, but how they helped her. Dalmatians have long been associated with firefighters, thanks largely to the fact that this breed was once trained to sit on carriages and let out warning barks on their way to the scene of the fires. They were almost like primitive sirens if you think about it. These days, however, the Dalmatian isn't the only dog breed that firefighters closely bond with. Firefighters can, and do, show love for all sorts of pups, and it's often for the same reasons that many other folks would. Never has that been more obvious than in one recent incident involving Sacramento, California, firefighter Mike Thawley. When he found an abandoned pit bull puppy, he knew there was an instant bond. Still, no one could have predicted what would come next. Right away, Mike knew there was no time to waste when he found the pup, whose name was Chunk, tied to a pole in the rain. She was suffering from mange, and it was clear that no one was looking out for her. Although he and his crew were just wrapping up a medical call, his training as a firefighter told him he couldn't leave the poor dog behind. She desperately needed his help, so Mike and his team brought her to a local animal clinic to be treated. Still, even after he dropped her off, he couldn't stop thinking about the sweet little puppy. He knew his job wasn't finished yet. So, the next day, he returned to check in on her. Mike certainly wanted to do everything he could to save the poor pit bull's life, but he didn't plan on going much further than that. However, Chunk couldn't be more excited to see him, and the firefighter immediately took a liking to the sweet dog. In fact, Mike fell so deeply in love with adorable little Chunk, he had never met a more sweet and gentle dog, that he decided right then and there to do something drastic. He was going to adopt her from the rescue shelter. Of course, this was a huge decision, and Mike's wife, Carla, was rather shocked when her husband brought up the idea with her. After all, they already had a packed house, they had 3 kids and 2 other dogs, and Carla had multiple sclerosis. How would they be able to handle all that chaos? Still, it quickly became clear that the Thawley family had more than enough love in their hearts to be able to justify adding yet another family member to their household. Just look at how much love they shared with Chunk. One of the things that's so special about this story, besides the fact that the Thawley family adopted a dog who was so clearly in need, is how eager they all seemed to do the right thing.